the main quote from Matt Arnold. I'll read it here, saying, quote, "Look, we want to be competitive here in 2023. We feel like we have a good team in place. We will be opportunistic to try to improve this team where we can responsibly. But ultimately, I think we have a lot of good players here, and even others coming back off the IL, led by somebody like Brandon Woodruff, who is a really exciting player to add as a deadline addition. Aaron Ashby, I think there's a chance that he comes back later this season. Justin Wilson is throwing the ball really well right now. Tyrone Taylor isn't that far off, so just more guys coming back. I think those could also be quality additions to a team that we certainly already believe in. So a lot to kind of go over there, but the use of responsibly kind of made it sound like they won't trade any top prospects, Ryan, and he flat out said he wouldn't trade Willie Adames or Corbin Burns in another answer. So a definitive answer there. They're not trading Corbin Burns or Willie Adames. So I guess like Steve says, Ryan, reading between the lines, sounds like nothing to get too excited about this trade deadline season.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's going to be probably them adding around the fringes of the roster the way that they do. And I would not expect them to give up top prospects. And they really shouldn't, to chase this particular chance with a roster that's kind of meh. Like it could end up working out. This could go well for them, but I think that they want to mostly keep their powder dry and not trade away certainly guys in their top 5 of their system. Somebody did propose a trade that was like, we would have to give up Abner Uribe and Max Wagner to get Tyler O'Neill from the Cardinals. And this was proposed by a Cardinal media member.
Sure. Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
I was kind of like, I admire your restraint in not trying to grab, Tyler Black or something for Tyler O'Neill, because like at least you have some sort of grasp on reality here. But yeah, I think this bodes for them not making big moves, but I think we sort of expect that. We don't expect them to be the team that goes all in at the deadline, because that just rarely works out real well for the team that does it. That often ends in heartache. So, and then you are trading away valuable pieces for the future doing it. So I would say that the responsibly word here is the key word of the whole response, is that they want to do this responsibly, which means they're not going to be trading a bunch of future wins for a smaller amount of now wins, because that's not how they roll.
It's not. When you go out and get a star, it's because you are competing with other teams where you need that to get you over the top to win your division. It's not anything other than that. It's not like, if some people maybe will argue, if you're a juggernaut and you're going all in for the World Series, then you add it, you look to do that kind of thing. Nope, that's not right either, because you already have a juggernaut. You don't need to add that. It's only if you are in a division where you need that to get over the top. They're not in that at all. They're in a division of garbage, and you don't need to go and add a bunch. Adding Tyler O'Neill doesn't do jack, and even adding Juan Soto doesn't really matter, because the rest of the lineup is very get-outable in the playoffs. So yeah, Ryan's right, and this is the smart way to do it. Like, if there was some juggernaut in the playoffs and they weren't wildcard contenders, it would make sense to tear this team down and start over from scratch. Likewise, they're in it, but adding one bat doesn't do jack to this team. They are not in the same class as the Braves or the Dodgers, and they might get lucky, but adding a bat doesn't help you get lucky. It just helps you like 1.01% get lucky. So yeah, that's right. This is just responsible, and that's what they should do.
I will say, obviously they're gonna play the guys coming off the IL are mid-season edition card, right?
Yeah.
But the problem for me is they're all pitchers, and the offense.
I like that Tyrone Taylor was what was thrown in there. Like, oh, we get Tyrone pitcher. Tyrone Taylor's not good. So yeah. So yes, James is correct about that. Like, but it doesn't matter. Like, you couldn't add a bat that made a difference. You might as well be Tyrone Taylor. Maybe he'll hit 15 home runs in the second half. Who knows?
I mean, he could mention Sal Frelick's gonna be up in the second half, right, Ryan? But I don't know. It's like the they're pretty content with what they have. And like you guys were saying at the top of the show too, they've been very good with what they've had. So maybe conceivably, like, he has a point that they don't need to do much, but still it's less than inspiring.
We should also remember that they lie.
Also that,
yeah.
yes.
They also don't know exactly what's going to happen, right? They don't have perfect information. They don't know what's going to be available and what opportunities might arise and what can happen. I think if they do end up making an impact move, it's almost certainly for somebody who has multiple years of control, right? Like, that would be the kind of impact move. And that's probably what they're focused on right now, is looking at those sorts of deals and seeing if they could get something sort of worked out that way. And then when it comes down to the guys who are impending free agents coming into, like, after this year, you worry about that more as the deadline is right there.
Yeah.
So you never know. Sometimes an offer comes along that you just don't want to say no to, and you feel is in the best long-term interest of your team. I'm pretty convinced that's how the Josh Hader thing happened last year. Was they just got an offer from the Padres and they looked at it and they said, this is too good for us to not pass up, which I know is going to make a lot of people scream at their radios right now. But, like, I think that's probably the way they looked at it. And I think that, so it's a situation where if something comes along that they just like too much, they could end up doing it.